Hello folks, right in the market here. I'm going to go through my trading for the day to sign off. I took my last trade about an hour ago. I was just watching the market to see where it went after I was stopped out. You can see that I was just stopped out to the tick on that final trade because of some poor execution, poor stop loss placement, and then it just went in my direction. I took a sell there, took a sell around here, and then got stopped out at the top there, almost to the tick, and then the market went in my direction. So overall, I was down around $600 today. Most of it was due to poor execution on part in the New York AM and PM sessions with the two trades I took then. Yeah, if I hadn't made mistakes on the execution of those trades, it should have been a positive day. I had a good start to the day in the London session. So I'm just going to go through all of my trades quickly and just explain what I took. So my very first trade of the day, was a sell. I saw the price. We had taken the highs from Monday Asia session, I think that is. So we'd taken those highs. So I was thinking that either we bounce somewhere and then continue higher, bounce somewhere here and continue higher, or we'll end up finding a short entry. So I think my session starts at around 4 a.m. So I was looking for a long initially once we inverted these bearish fair value gaps, but I couldn't really find an entry. So I was just waiting for around half an hour where I found this sort of rejection pattern. It's a candlestick pattern rejection. So you've got this rejection candle with the top wick, which comes back down. You've got this candle which shows a bit of weakness, but then comes up and forms a small body, followed by an engulfing candle. So that's where I entered after that engulfing candle. And then just wrote that down for a 1-to-1 for around $350 odd. So that was a good trade to start off the day. There was also another entry which you could have taken, or I could have taken. So you can see that here at the high of day, we formed a couple of inverse fair value gaps. Right here of these bullish fair value gaps. So once we closed below them, you could have looked for a pullback into this zone, taken a sell. Either you could wait for confirmation, see this like double pattern forming, you could wait for that, or you could just take the entry off that IFEG and take the sell down into the lows. Either one. So my strategy obviously worked, my trade obviously worked, and this one would have worked as well. And then the market just kept flowing down. I only take one trade per session, so I wasn't going to look at it beyond that. But that was a nice trade to start off the day. Very good execution. Waited patiently for around half an hour for that trade. So fairly happy with that trade. Then we come to the New York AM session. So what I saw in this session was we've been obviously making some highs, pushing up once we form that low in the morning. And we formed these two IFEGs from these bearish FEGs. So I saw those as a potential entry from the very open. So what I should have done in this case, there's also a couple of bullish fair value gaps here. So what I should have done in this case was taken an entry here. So if I go to this risk reward sort of marker, so stop would have been placed at low. If I'd entered at the lowest IFEG and then taken it up for a 1-to-1, that would have been a winning trade. If I'd taken it from the wick of this bullish FVG, that would have been a winning trade, but instead I took it a bit higher. So instead of getting that winning trade, it almost reached my take profit, missed it by, well, it turns out quite a lot, but it did go quite a distance, and then it ended up reversing on me. Obviously here, There's another IFVG which was formed from the opening 5-minute candle of the New York AM session. So once it formed that, then you could pretty much assume that we were going to use it and go lower, and that's essentially what we did. I have a rule where I don't touch my trades after I've taken them, so I couldn't get out of my trade, or at least I'm trying to form the habits. I could have gotten out, obviously. I could have taken the short off there, but because I'm trying to form the habits where I don't get out of trades and let my trades play out, so I had to leave it based on my rules right now. So came up halfway, 3/4 away to my take profit, and then started reversing on me, and eventually stopped me out at the lows around here. So that was a bit annoying. It should have been a winning trade if I'd executed it more to my strategy using the actual FPG entry points rather than just up in the air like that. I think I had an entry for 100 ticks where I don't know, like that shouldn't be 100 ticks is like my max entry for a trade. So I often resort to that, but it really should be on the actual trade setup rather than anything else. So if I'd executed that well, it would have led to a winning trade, but obviously I didn't. So that ended up as a loser. Similar sort of situation here with my stop placement. So what I saw, this was at 1 p.m. after lunch. So I saw that price had been showing a bit of weakness at the top here. And then I was looking either for a rejection out of these bullish fair value gaps for a long, but I didn't really like the setup when it was presenting itself here. I was kind of thinking about getting in here for a long, but eventually decided against it. So I waited a little bit more, waited, and then I saw this rejection candle from this double bearish FVG, and I thought that was a good entry, and it was. The only problem is, instead of waiting for a pullback for my 100 tick stop and covering the higher FVG, which is what I should have done, I just entered and put my stop at the high here, at this candle high. So what happened is price obviously wanted to trap people. It wanted to take out stops. So the wicks did the damage here, and then took me out, and then went in my direction. If I'd placed the trade properly, executed it properly, it would have been a winning trade again. But yeah, because I didn't, it was a losing trade, and I'm now down $575 on a day. I should be up around 1,300, something like that. So it's a really frustrating day for me. Obviously, I've got stuff that I'm working on right now with my trading, so execution is one of them, but it's not the most important one right now. The most important is my mentality and my ability to let my trades play out and just take trades without hesitation. So in that sense, this was a good day. Another thing that I'm trying not to do is over leverage and revenge trade. So I had a tendency to press this reverse button whenever a trade was going against me, and then it would sometimes help me out, but invariably it would end up losing me my entire account at some point in my trading. So that's the thing that I'm working on right now. So while I am annoyed at my execution, I'm glad that I found the right moves for my strategy, and they would have been winning moves if I'd executed properly. But there's a couple of positives to take today and a couple of negatives. But overall, poor day just because of the profit that I made. But I'm not going to be too unhappy with the fact that at no point did I feel like I was going to tilt. No point did I feel like I needed to revenge trade or anything. There was a couple of times where I needed to step away from my desk. You can see it in my live trading if anyone wants to watch those, or if anyone sees this video. But there was a couple of times I needed to step away from the desk and just let my trade play out. But yeah, so I didn't do anything drastically bad in my trading, so I'm not too fussed with having a losing trade. This account it's important in the sense that I want to do well in it and show some progress in my trading. But it's not important in the sense that I want this. It's a Bullinux account, a 150k account. It's an eval account. I used to have a masters, but I blew that account. So this is why my trading's going online, and I'm adding a bit more accountability for my trading. So this account is a 150k account. But I didn't realize, I had a look at it, and I didn't realize that the fees for turning it into a master account, if I did end up passing it, it was around $500. I'm like, oh, I'm not paying that much for 150k account. So if I pass this, then I'm not even going to convert this into a actual account, because that's way too expensive to pay for an account that, based on history, I'm likely to blow. So yeah, I'm not paying that much money for a 150k account. So what I'll do is I'll continue to try to make this account get to the profit target, and just continue to form good habits, continue to follow my trading strategy as best I can, and try to improve that a little bit with my execution. Like today, doing things a little bit better, just to ensure that I'm getting profits from trades that I see setting up. But I'm not going to turn this into a actual masters account in the end. So I'm not too worried about this account. So I'm using a fair bit of risk, one mini per trade with I allow between max around 100 125 take stop loss, which is quite a lot with one mini and $4,500 in drawdown, less now. But yeah, pretty poor day with a couple of negatives, but a few positives as well. So I don't really know how to see it. I'm just going to, in my journaling, I'm not sure how I'm going to swing it with balancing out the positives and negatives, but I'm not really happy with my execution because of the fact that they should have been winners. But yeah, that's how it is. But yeah, anyway, that was my summary for the day. Thanks for watching. If anyone does end up watching this, if you do have any comments, let me know. Subscribe if you have any interest in doing so. But yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow in my live sessions, and I'll be back for another summary tomorrow. Hopefully it goes a little bit better. Bye.